I never know why the chat is sometimes in the thing and sometimes not. It's again in the chat. It's over on the site again. You doing Plants v Zombies?
Yep.
Plants v Zombies. Zombies! Oh, the camera's a little off. There's usually not much of that room on the ceiling. Come on. What's going on? Can you fix that? What the hell? I got angry at my computer the other night and whacked it when I was playing WoW. It's not a touchscreen. You can't flick off a mob. Literally. Probably jostled it a little bit. It just looks so whited out because it's so bright outside. I think this is one of those times where you're going to get a lot of, like, there's a reason people should probably come to practice, but they're not going to be at practice. All right, let's see this picture. Let's see. I literally said something and someone canceled for tomorrow. Just not going to call them out, but himbo. Trains are showing up. A little water on me. Dribble, dribble, dribble. The freaking kids are out there. I've been watching them. They're like going to Albert Heijn or they're going to snack bar and they're walking back and getting over to the bench areas and like sitting down with their fries. And I'm like, do you not understand the amount of seagulls and pigeons that perch on the roofs around here? You are literally being swarmed and they're like trying to chase them off. And I think it got a little too sunny. Like you'd think there'd be more kids out there right now, but they may be out. They may be called in for actual dinner. And say, okay, go out and burn off your dinner. Something. Still, people are like, oh my God, summer's finally here. I'm like, oh my God, summer is still a month away. It's just people think so much. They think the weather defines the season. It's not. It's just okay. Fine. We'll send the Super Bowl train. Then we'll send some of these other ones. Yeah, the chat is active. Yo, I literally just looked up and saw that thing. Shaylin. Doing stuff on trains. Building a solar park. Save the planet. You heard a plane pass over here. Are we just like the only ones on the planet? Zachary said he just saw a plane pass over his house and almost had a heart attack because he didn't know what it was for a minute. Is it just because of kind of where we lived near the mouth of the gorge and the planes always came in? I
have no idea.
Like the other couple, we had a terrible windstorm and I saw a plane do like a 60-degree bank and do a tight 180. I was like, what is going on? Like, I thought that plane was going to crash, but I've never actually been surprised by the sound of a plane. Do they not fly over your house much? When you live in Indiana, it is a flyover state. Oh. Well, now that the grass has dried out a little bit from clapping off my cleats, I think the birds are now way more interested in it. You live close to an airport too? They've just barely been any cause the pandemic. It's weird to hear them now. I guess maybe in your small little town. I'm like, I live like within the area of Schiphol Airport. That's one of the major airports in like Europe. It's like KLM is the Dutch. It's
Royal Dutch Airlines.
Royal Dutch Airlines, and Schiphol is the biggest airport in the Netherlands. I live near Logan Airport. I see planes over my house all the time. Yeah, like Portland, PDX is in Northeast Portland, and it's over by 205. And the easiest way to come in from its mostly east-west things is to come in through the gorge, kind of over the gorge, because there's usually either a tailwind or a headwind going there. And it's just easier. And Aaron and I lived in East Vancouver or Camas, and so planes were always flying over.
Yeah.
Like always. He only knew, like, I could tell whether or not the weather was going to become bad by how much the planes were, I want to call it aero braking, but it's not the right term. But it's like they'll come over and they go, and they'll like, it sounds like they're reversing their engines to slow down. They're not, but there's this major high pitched whine that comes out of them. And you're like, huh, that's a weird, oh, we're going to have some crappy weather coming in, because when it's up there, it's going to come down here pretty soon. So there's something about the sports stuff that's getting freed up on the 5th. I don't know. I'll find out much more specifics tomorrow. Getting the whole Rex overhide on the phone from a link from WhatsApp to translate. It gets really confusing, but I'll find out more at practice about what's going to be possibly let go in on the 5th. We got most of my stuff moved over to the new house. I'm moving on the 1st. I'm so excited. Does that mean you're going to be out of commission for a little while you figure out how you're going to pay what over corporate overlord for your trickling slow internet? What? We had 50 megabits with what, 50 at the old apartment? On DSL? There's a fucking phone line. I'm gonna get in front of this window. It's just so bright outside. It's just I don't even know if it happens if it's happened in the States now, but there's just such a stranglehold of cable internet in the States. It's crazy. I know that fiber's creeping in, but there's such old growth, I guess, that's hard to line it all the way up and out.
Yeah.
In regards to the very, very last thing you said, you will always be living with crazy people. It's like getting ice cream. every ice cream has a flavor. Every ice cream has a flavor. You just, yeah. Your roommates are going to be crazy in their own rights. And eventually you will get tired of them. Thus is the cycle of moving. I've been living with a different flavor of crazy. I'll be living with a different flavor of crazy, but at least it's not my parents' flavor of it. Mm-hmm.
It'll be a new and exciting flavor.
Yeah. But you'll be taste blind to it after a while. And it won't be new. The veneer will rise up, will go out. Yeah. Crack, yeah. Organized teams activity, no pads, then helmets, then uppers. We're working regardless. Bro, it's football. Fucking put pads on. You are literally a month out. You're less than a month out from your league starting. Actual games. You should be in pads all the time at this point. You're a professional league.
Germany?
Yeah, the ELF.
Oh.
Someone took a selfie after their practice, and I was like, "Where's your pads at?" Oh no, we're not doing pads right now. What the hell? But if things stick for the 5th, the rumor is we'll be having pads next Sunday. So, again, I don't know any concrete things right now. The yawn caught round the world. But yeah. Aaron got a new Sourcey bottle because he uses it so much for water that it loses its firmness. Of course, after a fashion, he also sucks that thing dry and breaks it himself faster than he should if he just, would breathe while he's drinking. Like that. Just maybe not while he's drinking. At least it's not that annoying of a thing, of a scooter alarm.
Yeah.
Of course, it's also in a much more open area. The last apartment, it was just a canyon. Got a bunch of new camera gear the other day. Okay. It was like someone sent me a TikTok of like a girl dancing in front of a horse. And it was and like the only TikToks this guy ever posts are him jumping rope in like the central courtyard of his apartment complex. I'm like, I just responded, that's a horse. I have no idea. Like, people say like, hey, this happened. I'm like, yay, that happened. And it's like, I feel super autistic because I'm like, I have no idea if it's good or bad, and I don't want to assume. Because people have told me in very cheery fashions, I got a bunch of stuff the other day. And now my house is full of crap I don't know how to get rid of. And I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have congratulated you for that. I was meaning that sarcastically. And they're like, no, you didn't. I'm like, I know I didn't, because you said it in such a happy tone. Well, I was saying it sarcastically. You shouldn't respond sarcastically. I'm like, what the fuck are these rules?
So I have a bag of water and a pump up all launching. And so I created a water bag, I guess, launcher. Well, that's a motherfucker.
Yeah. Tried this little fun thing earlier today. Orange, lemon, mint, and agave syrup. Don't complicate the language, folks. It was not what I thought. I thought there would be more orange than lemon, even though it says raw lemonade versus raw, versus fresh juice. If it's lemonade, they shouldn't put CNUS apple first. Doesn't even. There is 2.5 oranges, 1/2 lemon.
But that lemon packs a punch.
Well, there's also like mint in there too.
Yeah, the mint.
Yeah, 24% CNUS apple, 3% lemon, and 0.5% mint, and 1% agave syrup. Low calorie. I fucking hope so. It's one of those things, low in calories. I could see through it. It better be low in calories. If only that's how calories actually work. Because you can see through maple syrup, but I guarantee you there's a butt ton of calories in that. Technically, there's a lot of calories in glass too, but we can't extract them. We cannot hijack glass.
Then there's the Tumblr meme. You could if you weren't a coward.
I still love the some like people on TikTok request that their friends hold up a random object and just nod with a smile, and then they put it all in a video that says, a lot of people don't want to believe in you, but if you honestly keep telling yourself, no matter what it is, anything is a dildo if you try hard enough. And people are holding up the most oddly shaped objects, like like dragon statues, and going, like, what is going on? Yeah, they were cleaning out the field today, moving benches and stuff. They're going to put new grass down over there the next while. I'm going to put a sprinkler system underneath it. Probably resize a few things. I'm not sure if they're going to move the goalpost. I heard someone say that the goalposts were a little bit closer together than they should be, but I was like, well, that only really affects like field goals. And like if the thing's a yard shorter at the back end than it's supposed to be, it doesn't really affect touchdowns because that's when it crosses the plane. So you're still dealing with a full field there. And if the other thing's a bit it's weird. Plus, it's not like, people around. It's not like the Netherlands around here has a serious league. I mean, Rotterdam and Groningen have dick fields to begin with. Everything's really fine until midfield, and then somehow you put 20 yards in 10, and then you just label it that way. I couldn't like I thought it was just a mistake for Groningen, and like the next couple games we played there, it was like, okay, that's how it goes. And then we went to Rotterdam and we played on their field, and I was like, you guys got the same shit too. And it was like, yeah, and like I ain't doing the stats on this. Oh look, the guy ran like 3 yards. Like that was the thing that I was told. If he starts at the 40, runs to the 50, what do I mark that as? 5 yards. And if he runs to the next 40, so he runs 10 yards, 20. No.
That is not how math works.
But it that's not how, like, you had to tweak within the system about how it works, and it was not a thing. I didn't like doing it. Dot liked your video. Starting that shit again, aren't we? But I asked a couple guys at practice, and they agree. It's sort of the like
a pause in speech.
Yeah, they're like, it's just sort of like that, and then like one of them demonstrated it to me. I'm like, that's what it is. But Gen Z can just get absolutely offended because they decided something was going to have a name behind it or have a reason behind it, and then and not tell anybody about it, and then all of a sudden
get offended when people do that.
Yeah, it just waking up so long ago and today and
prescription video game that the FDA
This is a district line service to Wimbledon.
I swear to God, I don't know what that is, but there's a bunch of people that are like triggered or something by like station announcements. By things. I've seen way too many touch. Central Station, Eindpunkt. And they'll just like record themselves saying it in the most dramatic way possible. Just like, okay, y'all do that. Also, for those of you that are here, I found the automatopoeia for yeet. The actual, like, when you say yeet, this is the sound. This is just yeet.
German expressions that you can only understand when you live in Germany.
Oh shit.
You forgot one, the most important one. Ja, ja. My German friends can tell you what ja, ja means. Ja. Yeah.
German expressions that you can.
That's only north.
Chinese and.
Bavarians don't use it that way.
Yeah.
You know. Oh, I saw another boat the other day heading its stuff out to the thing, and I was like, "What? There's just so many!" Like, I don't know what it's like. I don't know what these people are doing when they're trying to get like, "Oh my God, no! We're just going to be constantly sick around the clock with the windmills being put up around Iber." I'm like, you got to go out there in a boat like Greenpeace does and like run into these things because it's like the 9th one I've seen already. They are constantly putting up wind turbines out there. Your little signs aren't doing crap. It's like that TikTok where the person is convinced that we didn't need to have military intervention for the Holocaust. A simple petition would have worked. Yeah, so by and large, yeah can mean all right, or what you say, yeah. But in the north of Germany, kiss my ass. Well, more lick my arse, but whatever. That's something else. I don't know, but the dinosaurs didn't like it. What's the opposite of yeet? I don't know, but the dinosaurs didn't approve. Yoink. I guess. So how's that 20 years at Best Buy going for you? I can just imagine. I looked back to see if Aaron's eyes were like, oh.
I saw the post though.
Aaron out there sweating bullets because he's like, I can't imagine 20 years at that store. I love how the Germans are taking pride in their sandals and socks. Like it's getting to the point where like the internet is starting to make fun of them that way. But dang, the Germans are doubling down. Like, no, we are owning this. Well, I survived reorgs and potential layoffs, so slash. What's important about a reorg?
Reorganization.
Yeah, what's the
where
big?
they usually after a reorganization, 10% or more of the workforce is unemployed. Because they find the positions are redundant and et cetera, et cetera.
Okay.
Most people don't know it, so.
The conversion of gallons to liters was the biggest con on the UK people on fuel prices. It was around 5.67 a gallon. I remember it was around whatever. I remember when I was like, no, I'm not going to go buy no damn unleaded for $1. I'm going to go to the AMP. I'm going to go to Arco at 89 cents. 89 cents a gallon in 1999. I'm not that old.
And every year, every 2 years now, because it's been long enough, I get the notification on my memories of the memory I posted that said 320 or 230 for a gallon of gas. What kind of swill did they put in my tank?
Yeah, because we thought it was just absolute just trash at the time. I mean,
that's so low.
It's so low.
230? Oh my god.
Yeah, and like Matt's sitting here, he gets it. You know, he knows those times. I was driving my whole ass minivan, an 18-gallon tank. Just I was pissed when I couldn't fill it up for $20 anymore. I was working at Taco Bell. There was an Arco around the corner and my bank behind the arborvitae hedges, and it just like, and it was an AM/PM Arco with like the 8-9 fucking pumps, you know, because you got 8 regular pumps and then diesel. Because you're out there in the middle of boomfuck orchards and you need diesel for these trucks that can't fit in our drive-through. And I'm just like, boom. Not playing this game right now. I just lean over and like stare out as like the Chevy muck tiny dick is sitting in the drive-through, revving like just I can't fucking hear anything. One truck came in and actually blew out our restaurant speaker. Did they go out of business or something? Arco is still, I think there's an Arco in Beaverton still. Not Barco, Arco Station, Beaverton. 11925 Southwest Allen Boulevard. Yeah. I mean, there isn't many of them in Beaverton. Arco Station, Vancouver is not that Vancouver. Shut up. Is it still up there in Orchard, or did they change it out? 576. Where are you at? Oh, Taco Bell. Around the corner. Maybe they took the gas station out. Oh, not in New England anymore. Did I lose this street? It's Taco Bell, Postal Service. I gotta completely zoom out so I can roll a fucking planet just to go look back. Vancouver. You see, there's a Taco Bell. That Brood Awakenings is still there. There's the bank. Satellite. Oh, it's a Chevron now. Okay. But it was an Arco. But every time I do the conversion of the gas here, I'm just like, why is America complaining? Why? Like the station in Hilversum is gas prices over some petrol, gasoline cost of, no, I don't want that. I just want NL Fuelo.nl, sure. Hilversum. Euro 95. Average in Hilversum is €1.81. So 18.81. Times 3.78. I hate this weird conversion. Yeah, 3.78. That's what I thought the milk jug said. 3.78. Okay, and then euro to dollar. So we're taking that price in euros. Convert that to dollars at $8.34 per gallon. I can't. No wonder everybody has Teslas and, you know, the new Golfs and stuff around here.
I can. Come back. Come back. Come back. Come back.
When we finally have a warm day in Sweden. It's like that's the thing the Dutch are gonna do. Like, this is like their perfect day. Right now, there is a Corona level mass event happening at Oster Park. Right now. Like, there's not a lot of people at the skate park, but there's going to be later.
The sun isn't shining as brightly.
Well, I gotta say, they're probably still eating dinner. So,
True.
yeah, like, I'm thinking like 7:30, they're gonna come back out in force. But dang, yeah. And this is gonna be great. We're gonna have this for like a week. It's gonna be great. But then the Dutch will be like, this is the weather that we need. This is the kind of weather we need. Like, this is nice weather. It's in the upper 60s. It's sunshiny. It's perfect. It's not very windy. And then we're going to sit here at a nice, ripe 78 degrees here in like a couple months. And they'd be like, no, bring back the cold.
Good.
This is too hot. Too hot. They like it around 20 degrees. They do not like it in the upper 20s at all. Like Sweden over there, we finally have one sunny day in Sweden. Everybody's melting and wants the clouds to come back. You're going to order the pasta.
You're the 10 least written letters in the English language.
Yeah, I don't care about that.
You're the 10.
Okay, I need to know how many tabs you usually have open on your computer because I just screen
About
share
3.
something and my friend freaked out about my like 7 tabs, which is like minimum for me. Okay, I need to know how many tabs.
Here's
Tried to pause.
you got the Penne bolognese from bruschetta. Do you remember if you liked it?
It's penne and it was bolognese. Like it's kind of, like we're getting down to the point of if something has Italian food, specifically pasta around here, has a really high standard. If they meet that standard, I don't say anything. You like maybe it's just being around, other like older Dutch folks plus Marcus, but I'm sitting here like if someone is not complaining, it is good. Like if you want a German to give you high praise and you ask them to rate something and go, can't complain. You have exceeded expectations because they expect you to fuck up somewhere.
So, spaghetti amatriciana. Too many eyes.
Okay, I need to know how
Spaghetti with
many
bacon.
tabs you
No. Amatriciani.
Tiana,
Whatever. I don't
but no.
know.
Okay.
Go with what I know.
Okay.
I keep trying to spice things up for you because you need different stuff. I love the same things. When it's good, it's good.
Spaghetti, penne, or something else.
What else do they have? I can say something else and then you just randomly surprise me and suddenly it comes in with asbestos bolognese. What?
I'm not that bad.
Well, it's the Netherlands.
Spaghetti, penne, lasagna. That's it. Okay. So spaghetti, penne, lasagna. Are there choices for bolognese?
So penne.
Penne, okay. What is penne
Con what?
burro? B-U-R-R-O.
Donkey.
Bread with crowd and butter.
Broad mit Krautenbutter. Mostly garlic, little flecks of something else to call it Krauden instead of Knoflook. That's what it is. That's what it is. Well, if we do Knoflookboter, well, that's what it is. Yeah, but that's a lot of letters. If we just put some flakes of thyme or something in it, and we can make it Krauden, and that's a shorter word. Oh, okay. Garlic and herb. What is your work computer doing?
It was running its fan. Sleep.
I thought it would have had rosemary in it. That's where you get the. Yeah, they mainly put a little bit of rosemary in it because it's kind of pointless when you have that much garlic put into butter. Like this one says, 1 tablespoon chopped parsley leaves, 4 cloves of garlic. It doesn't matter. That's whether you have thyme or rosemary or parsley or all 3, nothing is overpowering 4 cloves of garlic. Your mom commented on my Instagram reel. I'll just show you it on TikTok. It's actually quite.
Oh, I saw that. I didn't listen to it though.
Oh, you saw it on Tumblr, probably.
Yeah. Roja.
A conscious brocha?
Yeah.
That I don't know why that would be a broja. A conscious broad is a mushroom.
Mushroom. Okay. It doesn't have the ch at the end. I just couldn't not.
Yeah, because it's a weird. If you look up acornchus broad, you're gonna realize because it's still squirrel's bread. That's what it, acorn is a squirrel.
Einhorn.
Einhorn
Unicorn.
is unicorn. So acornchus broad. It's a little squirrel bread. It's I don't know. It's versus paddestool, which is something. It's a different kind of mushroom. And champignons are the ones that they put on pizzas and sandwiches and stuff.
Yeah, I have the option of ravioli al tartufo or al funghi.
And I think fungi is just generalized.
Yeah, al funghi is ravioli with ricotta cheese and spinach in champignon sauce. The tartufa is large ravioli with ricotta cheese and acornchia broad, in a truffle golden sauce.
So I think a tartufa is effectively what I would call a truffle.
Yeah, probably.
Because it's that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a tuber or a truffle, the food. Oh, scroll down. Oh, okay. So apparently there was a Friends reunion thing, and now everybody's body shaming Matt LeBlanc. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, well, he's a celebrity. He deserves to get all the stuff. No, he doesn't, but okay.
He's a celebrity. He deserves to live his freaking life.
And like, I can't necessarily say that everyone at that Friends reunion is going to be necessarily pleased to be there. It's been long enough.
Didn't one person not show up?
I don't know. I just know that a fair lot of people are like, I wish they're talking about how much of a sad look he had on his face or something like that. I don't know. Like he really didn't want to be there, and he should have at least put up a good face or something. I'm like, you dipshits.
I ordered one side of bread because we were 10 cents short of being able to order. Oh, I didn't order bread. I ordered Sprite.
All right, a Sprite.
Half hour.
In theory.
Someone please tell me if they ever have seen this shit in Cyprus. Like, why would you install that? Huh? Someone please tell me.
Your body so fucking electric.
But yeah, I've returned. Roommate calls, am I right?
Maybe.
I guess.
We need more information.
Every time someone, by and large, when people tell me that, like I say it to people when I know they absolutely for 400% know what I'm talking about. Like Belgians, am I right? And everyone's like, oh, like they do the same thing. They get. But people say it to me and they're like, hey, am I right? I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. I've had such a, you said roommate calls, right? Is she PMSing for the 9th time this week and has a migraine and wants you to never do anything with her and just stay out of her room? What? Like, what's going on here? Like, I've had such a wide variety of roommates. I don't know what qualifies as that. What?
I was trying to figure out what you were doing.
Fixing it.
You were futzing with it.
Fixing it because it was undone. It was starting to roll out. So I pulled it in a little bit more and pushed the Velcro in together.
You were futzing with it.
He's 30-something with anxiety issues who thinks too much.
Same.
Have you met no other 30-year-olds? Like, we all do it. I got a whole app here full of people doing it.
Have you ever wondered where rivers begin? Well, for the Cetina River in Croatia, this is the beginning. Croatia is a country in the Balkans.
Cute. Yeah, like even Matt says, join the club. Like what? It feels like one of those like the younger millennials are sitting here like, oh my God, he's over 30. He's got such anxiety. I'm like, you will do. And they're like, no, I won't. Yes, you will. I don't remember Gen X having this level of like existential crisis. Like, but yeah, Zach, you're probably gonna have it too. I mean,
Why do people say that they're gonna break their ankles on these? They're literally not attached. Roller skates scare me way more. Plus, if you can pick up my skates and ride away first try, well, you can keep them. Why do?
oh, the little skate platforms.
Oh.
Why do people say you're gonna break your ankles? They're literally not attached to anything. But if you can pick up my skates and ride off with them, take them.
So you know, a person gets drunk faster if alcohol goes in by the rectum than if they drank it by mouth. Holy shit, do not do that. Do not ever take alcohol up your butt. That guy says he's a doctor, and like, it's completely true, but why would he advertise that without giving a warning? People have literally died from doing this because their liver doesn't absorb the alcohol and excess toxins, and you get drunk really, really fast. But that also means you get alcohol poisoning really, really fast, and you can easily die from overindulgence of alcohol. Like, there were like college students that were like taking vodka shots up their butt to get drunk fast. But like, one vodka shot is like equal to maybe like 10 when you do it like that, okay? And they took like 4. I don't know why he would broadcast that information on an app with a bunch of dumb teenagers without giving a proper warning, but he did, which is really not fun. But do not do this. You can't die very easily. So you know.
It's probably because Gen X didn't spend their formative years in a financially unstable country. I don't even. Hang on. I'm gonna request that Google define something for me. When are the formative years?
According to the Indian Express, the formative years or the early stages of childhood are between 0 to 8 years of a child's life where they learn more quickly than at any other time in life.
The country was quite stable for me at those ages. Trickle-down economics hadn't actually hit much yet. Because I was born at the very beginning of Reagan. Most of those years for me were during Reagan, when people were hyped up about it. Only until the 90s did people start kind of hearing the whispers in the wind that things were possibly not working out too terribly well. But we had a Democrat president that was trying to fix some things and gave us back a surplus. And then we went back to a Republican, and it just didn't work. Formative years are referred to as the teens and the 20s. The country wasn't financially unstable for me at those times. The country did not become horrifically financially unstable until the late 2000s. By that time, I was in my late 20s. Like, you got to think, the 2008 financial crisis was 13 years ago. I expected Aaron to swallow super hard by digesting that. Oh, so that's that. Although I got a side note, I do like watching that building's shadow creep across the skate park. If it were like 5 degrees colder, but like sunnier out there, everyone would be hiding from the shadow and they'd be like moving into the areas still underneath the sun. Let me get something to drink. Wish some of the little football buddies would show up around here, see if the previous videos have been good or whatnot. I remember we would have been exactly 20 in 2008, so okay. But that's the thing is, like, to me, the formative years are when you're starting to form as a person. I'm not really sure, but I know the time you're talking about. But only when, yeah, I'm not really sure. I would guess those would be called the young adult years. I don't want to call them the formative years because I could see the formative years even expanding all the way up to like 10. And that would be when you're basically going from, your brain is expanding beyond all belief and you're starting to function basic parts of your body like walking and doing simple society things like math and communication and all that jazz. And then nature takes over for a little while and like, at least for boys. What did I say the other day that happened? To boys in their teenage years, it was a uncontrollable transformer or something like that.
Oh, yeah. Like a transformer that just got, someone clicked a button and made them transform.
Yeah, like, but it's like they click the buttons for transformer transformation in a random order, and the person has no control over it. They just like they wake up and they're like, why are my hands 2 different foot distances apart? Oh God, help! Yeah, it's that. Yeah, you start physically getting screwed up, and then you start having to deal with like the adult world again after that happens. Huh?
Chat or phone?
My phone. I got an email from Roblox. Verificación adresa curial Roblox. Bonjour. Apparently someone's trying to sign up for a Roblox account with my email address.
No, someone's phishing you.
That's fair. I still don't care. It's Roblox. Yeah. Roblox. Well, I haven't really been following the news recently, but I'm not necessarily sure that Europe is going through a second one. I think the first one hit the United States, but it hit everything because they were having kind of a housing bubble that popped in the States and things were just going all sorts of crazy. It hit the United States really hard. The United States is small in comparison to the world. So, oh, eBay is telling me that I forgot something in my cart. Well, it's true. I mean, thanks for telling me. I mean, I know it's there. You keep telling me every day, hey, you forgot something. So it's, I mean, maybe the United States is going through kind of a financial thing right now. Not much, jelly duck. Blech. My YouTube feed's been like super crazy. It like brought up like, hey, do you want to watch a video from Jelly Duck from 2 years ago? I'm like, no. Like, I won't be able to find it again, but it was just like, what is this? Oh, you weren't here when we talked about gas prices. Gas prices are up to $4 a gallon. Get the fuck out of here. They're $8.72 a gallon here in the Netherlands. That's the average price, and people are like, oh well. I did the conversion earlier on the live stream. It's like, what? And the gas prices are just a little high. In terms of like 10, in terms of the gas price, it's only gone up by 10 cents. When I was first going to practices near the end of 2018, I was looking at the gas prices at $1.61 per liter, and now they're like $1.81. So they've gone up by like 20 cents per liter. But with the euro to dollar conversion plus the liter to gallon conversion, that goes insane. But it's like $8.50 a gallon right now here. It's like 1972 all over again. No, 1972 is when gas broke a quarter and people were rioting. Either way, I can hear a lot of people going back to carpooling or seriously considered mass transit options or a bicycle. A bicycle. How do you bike 10 miles? Easy. Bike it. Wake up earlier. Don't people work from home now? How am I supposed to carry my month of groceries on the thing? Rent an Uber. Yeah. Boston is Boston area, it's $3 a gallon. Like if I saw $2.99 a gallon, I'd be like, same day, same shit, different day. We were talking about when it goes down to $2.30, and Aaron gets the memory every so often on Facebook. They was like, "What swill did they put? What Sluich's swill did they put in my fucking tank?" I don't know, man. Minnesotans in December have left the chat. Why?
Probably in Minnesota in December, the price for gas is very low or high.
Oh. $3 is just a gallon, isn't it? I mean, that's what it is. It's $3 per gallon of petrol. That's the price. Around here, like I said, with it's 170 or it's 181 per liter. It makes it seem cheap until you do the conversions. And then you suddenly start, actually treasuring getting a ride from someone. Because I imagine biking in a Midwestern winter.
Oh.
Why not? They do it here.
Because the U.S. isn't built for it.
I know. Oh, all COVID restrictions effective today.
In
Massachusetts.
Oh.
Yeah, that's just how it is in the States. Canada's still behind. People are still complaining that they're not getting vaccinated. You didn't live through a polar vortex. No. I've lived through volcanic eruptions and earthquakes. So, what is that? I want you to Google something later when you have the time. Not just bikes. Where did he talk about that city in Finland? You want to talk?
That one.
Oh, that one. Oh, well, yeah. I just have to go to his videos. Cycling through a blizzard in Amsterdam. Shorts. Holy fuck, what?
Half an hour.
I thought it had only been like 20 minutes. Okay.
I mean, 20 minutes is like half an hour.
All right.
$21 minutes ago.
Oh, okay. Why Canadians can't bike in the winter, but Finnish people can. It is Oulu. O-U-L-U. O-U-L-U. Just Google something about that, and you'll see why it's not that big a deal to bike in the ice. $60, mild. That seems blisteringly hot, not mild. Mild would be somewhere around 40. The way you hear Midwesterners talk about their winters. Did they give us another menu?
Yeah.
I threw the last one out because it was put down, and I was like, but we already have 3. So I threw that one out.
Dang it, I didn't keep garbage down.
The Finns are amazing. They have snow swimming competitions. So do the Dutch. That's a New Year's tradition. To go swim in the North Sea on New Year's morning. Yeah, it's called the New Year's Dauk. An annual jump point into open water organized around the turn of the year. Usually takes place on New Year's Day, sometimes also another date in January or December, for example, on Boxing Day. The challenge is to jump in the water on a cold winter's day. There's usually no actual diving board.
You got bread anyway.
All right. Yeah. It's Scheveningen, where people take a dip into the North Sea, the winter cold. But like the sea can be super low, like 4 Celsius. It's just polar plunge, the same thing. This is the Nordsee Dauk. So fun times with that. But it's not a full piece of bread, it's just like appetizer side bread.
Yeah.
I mean, snow swimming competitions that I saw a video of a Dutch guy doing the nice little like arms behind the thing, and he was ice skating down a canal, and his friends are like cheering him on, yay! And then he went over to the edge, ran over the dike, and just dove headfirst into the water canal on the other side and swam to the other side, got up, ran, and continued ice skating on the other one that was fully frozen.
What is this country?
What is this country? What is this country? Ice skating to swimming Dutch canal. I wonder if I'm going to get that right one. Now that we've actually had like a full-on... Oh, all of these are now the dude that fell in. Should have put in Scots and Tot Svemmen. Yeah, this isn't going to show it. Yeah, like everybody in the northern stuff does it. The fact that people in the Midwest are like, oh yeah, well we do this. Oh yeah, well we do that. No, you don't. Like you're not. People in the Midwest are not that tough. And I say they're not that tough because they boast about it. This is one of those life tips, kids. If someone's boasting about something, it's probably not that big a deal. The people that are very sure about what they're doing don't need to tell others.
I bet I could drink this entire seltzer water without burping.
Oh my God! What do I do? Boom! Did you get me a fork?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck! You didn't see it because my brain's thinking about the damn. My brain's thinking about the air fryer stuff. I think I'm.
In a bit, like 8.
Well, yeah, it's totally fine. I think I'm second-handedly most excited for moving out and eating less and getting back in shape. So why can't you eat less now? Like, what stopped you before? Right, I was going to get the cheese.
Ooh, the Parmesan?
Whatever it is. And use up some of this shredded stuff. Ooh. Do you want the other bag of shredded stuff?
Sure.
So much cheese. It's fresh out of Italy. Imported from Italy. Oh, produced in Netherlands. No one, whatever.
Parano? Yeah.
Yeah. That's probably why it doesn't taste exactly like it. Oh, there's Peter Borg, Dr. Nick's voice. Hi, everybody. The fact, I'm guessing, that junk food is freely available here. I'm a boredom eater and I don't have the best impulse control. So you think moving out is going to fix that? You think? I mean, if you can't do it now, and it's not necessarily like your parents are pushing you to eat and thus getting away from your parents, but like, oh, the fast food is all around everywhere and you have poor impulse control. It doesn't matter where you live. It matters the fact, the fast food, In order to fix that, you have to close all the fast food.
Or move away from it.
I'm from America. I couldn't find fast food in fucking BFE Battleground. There's more fast food than butt fucking in Battleground.
Yeah.
Kathy commented on one of my videos. What?
Person gets drunk.
She did?
And updated.
Kathy asked about what it smells like. That weird, stale creek. Stink. It's non-flowing, shallow water. So they don't.
A lady just came up to me and said, "Speak English. We're in San Diego." So I politely responded by asking her, "How do I say San Diego in English?" The look on her face.
Because I don't plan on buying any for myself, and usually a change of situation changes how I act, I find. Well, not necessarily going to deny that one. certainly find myself speaking far less English when I'm not around, English primary speakers. Tend to not be around people who live and breathe politics when I'm not living in the United States anymore. I mean, I get it, but it's a little weird. Like him hawing over that. Oh, Kathy shared a video with me now. Star Trek.
Have these if you guys won't wear them. So comfortable. Those are the we met before. They certainly are.
They certainly are.
Dang.
Health and happiness.
A pleasant day to you.
You did return as promised.
I must welcome this lovely one. Nice to see you again.
My Christ. the Edo are just the weirdest race. Plus, my roommate only eats once a day. That's unhealthy. Which I know is unhealthy. And I don't plan on doing exactly that, but I really want to cut down my snacking. There's a lot of things that I come across with people. There's good intentions behind it, but it falls under the idea of resolutions. A lot of people utilize New Year's as a starting point. New year, new me. And we're all sick of that shit. Nobody said New Year, new me in 20 to 21. Nobody fucking realized the shit happened. People were like, is it 2020 still? In like March. Like nobody, the whole New Year's resolution thing, at least around here in the Netherlands, just got total fuck all. And it brings up, and I see a bunch of people on.
An update of General Amsterdam living. The moat is looking real pretty right now with all that greenery on the side. Still smells, but that's just a moat for you.
That's just a moat. Anyways, the idea is that they were like, oh well, if I get to 30,000 followers, I'll do this, like lose weight, like start eating healthy, run a marathon. Why are you putting an arbitrary start time on it? Like just do it now. Like do it in the near future. I mean, you obviously can't do it now. You're in the middle of recording a TikTok video, but like, don't say, if I get to this point, then I will do it. Just plan to run that marathon and train for it. Yes, it is procrastination. But like I said, on TikTok, people are like, if this video gets 1,000 likes, I'll eat mustard. What? I mean, to be fair, that was like a YouTube thing. 1,000 likes is sometimes nothing on TikTok. But
An updated.
But yeah, I've never really liked resolutions because people try to they attempt to make a drastic change because the dial is going. The arbitrarily human defined thing is going click. Like, you want to get fit? You know, how about this? Don't pig out at Thanksgiving. Don't pig out at Christmas. Well, you have to. You're not going to work at weight loss if you think that same thing every time a holiday comes around. I mean, this weekend is communal, cremation pyre weekend. Let's celebrate the day by having communal cremation pyres in the United States. Okay. I mean, in the United States, you got to say it's Memorial Day, and you're having neighborhood cookouts, but it's a communal cremation pyre. Come on. And I'm like, that's the one thing the Dutch actually agree with me on. It's kind of why I felt like I clicked in a little bit more here. They're like, yeah, New Year's is to blow off a bunch of fireworks, because that's the only time it's legal. I'm like, it's nothing about starting a new thing. They're like, start it whenever you want. There's no reason to link it to a year or anything. One of them said, we're not bound by religious stuff here. You don't need to wait for a certain time to happen, wait for Jesus to come to start doing something. Okay. There's a sand barge parked out there near the midpoint, and I couldn't see the divider because the sand things, and I was like, what am I missing? There's one of those party ships parked out there. I'm sure, are those party ships running right now? Not quite what I was looking for, but okay. Looking for a party ship in Amsterdam is not the best thing you should be looking for. That's a huge website. Look about this. Rent a party ship. Experience Amsterdam. Yeah, see? Look, you can rent one of these things and they'll sell it around the IJsselmeer for you. Have a proper party. Well, I know I need to make a change. And moving out is just a good opportunity for change, so why not? I do procrastinate. And moving is a good kick in the pants to not do that. Like I said, it has good intentions, but it's a bad, consistent way of thinking when you need a thing to start doing something. Because then you're constantly looking for that grapple on point. And there are going to be times in your life where there is no grapple on point. And if you're in that mindset that you need to, well, when I move, or when this happens, or when the new year comes, or when I hit 30, or just do it now, because most of these things, like getting fit and maintaining a decent diet, take a long time to do.
And they're easier to do the younger you are.
That too. But
I mean, within limits, obviously, but
yes.
I should have mentioned, I don't usually think like this, but I did it once just by doing it no problem a couple of years ago. And that's also the thing is like you say that there's fast food readily available at your parents' house. I mean, do you have to eat that fast food? Or can you get your own food? So, just a ton of harder finding motivation within the last year, being what it was. And yes, I know that sounds like an excuse. I don't really care. It is an excuse. But it's one of those, it's not a full excuse. It only goes up to the C. It's a half excuse. You know, it's not a full excuse because it does make sense. You know, it's hard to go to the gym when they're closed. It's hard to go outside when it's freezing. It's hard to go biking when you have BFT Beaufort 6 winds outside. Like there's excuses and then there's reasons. And you know, not wanting to catch a fucking virus and spread it around to the family members, which may be older, you know, and much more susceptible to it, completely understandable. But, you know, could I have done more within the apartment and like done some stuff with much more bands and done more push-ups? Yeah, probably could have. But in October, I was like, okay, well, this is just temporary. I was having March all over again. That's what happened in October. Football practice, conked out. Oh, this is going to be separate. We'll be back. We'll get a little bit in, maybe one more game before December. And then November went worse. And then December, it was like, gyms were closed. And at that point, it was like, oh, what the fuck? Now we have a curfew? You know? You know, but yeah, I could have done more here at the house. I had the ability, I had the tools to. Some things were a little bit harder to do, like pulling, because I didn't want to necessarily open up the windows, you know, and utilize these things to pull the bands against. But you know, like it's one of those things, and I personally don't know if you watch the football videos on Mondays and Fridays. But there's a lot of motivation and reaffirmation in those near the end of the videos. Because Thursday, I didn't have the greatest of socialization stuff at practice. I mean, near the end when I was talking to someone. I was like, man, I'm kind of awkward. I was awkward as sin, but with the new cleats and with the different kind of sled we were using, it was wildly successful. And we're not rushed. And, you know, I can take my time and sit there and talk with Ed about what exactly I could do and understand. It's this little step to make sure the next rep is done more precisely. I don't need to do it fast. I don't need to do it perfect. I need to learn how to do it right. And that sounds weird. But like Thursday, this freaking muscle right here cramped and I didn't get to finish the tires. Like I got the tire, you know, I did part of my tire all the way to the end, but it just cramped so badly at the end. I couldn't finish getting the tire back the other direction. And that sucked, but it's not like I hadn't stopped doing that before. We've had like 5, 6 practices or something, and then there was one where the whole left arm went dead. But I've had problems with my left arm go dead for a while, ever since the break. So there's a weird nerve there. Weird reason I started eating so much last year is because I had trouble maintaining weight. And then I just didn't stop when I got back to a healthy size. So you've entered into the yo-yo.
Most people enter that yo-yo from the other side.
Well, some people enter it from, a lot of people enter it from that side too. You just aren't necessarily dealing with a lot of fitness people.
True.
You come from like the cosplay D&D nerds that kind of sit around and they're like, okay, I'm going to lose a bit of weight. And they're like, yeah, I kind of feel good. And they kind of go back to what they're doing. And they do that little, they're more on the weight loss. But when you have like no body fat and you're super skinny, you just pig out. And for many people, they don't realize that the goddamn emergency brake gets hit somewhere in your mid-20s on your metabolism. It doesn't completely go away, but dang, does it slow the fuck down. Ugh. I have issues with intermittent fasting. I mean, it works for some people. I certainly have way less issues with intermittent fasting than I do keto. I found a wonderful community on TikTok that absolutely rails against keto for all the scientific reasons. In fact, I had to explain to someone who was doing keto what I called drippy bacon. Aaron knows what I mean by drippy bacon.
Yeah.
Drippy, droopy, fat soluble fucking bacon. Fat, salt, protein. No carbs. Not one drop of carb. You need all the eggs, all the drippy bacon you can want. You can have all the milk, but you get one crumb of pancake on your plate and you might as well throw your diet out the window. And I'm just not having that kind of negativity in my life. Had to mute some gay who was like, oh, pancakes at IHOP, those are a side dish. And I was like, get the fuck out of here. You do not go to IHOP and have pancakes as a side dish. Intermittent fasting secret is just eating less calories. It's just fucking math, guys. Had a quarter life crisis at the end of 2009, early 2020. Had bad insomnia and got skinny enough. I had heart palpitations for the better part of a day. Sure, that wasn't just. I can tell I can get you to have heart palpitations for the better part of the next day coming to Amsterdam on the changeover from one year to the next. Matt Riley was on that live stream. that was Aaron was out for that one. Like he had it the year before, and I was stupefied drunk. He came out with me because he's like, I'm not sitting home alone for this one. And there was also the like, hey, maybe if he does get too drunk, I don't have to go find him.
Yeah.
But we didn't even go that far away from the house, and it just like it was like 11:50, and Aaron's like, wow, this is a decent amount. This is a cool amount of fireworks. And then it was like 11:58, and like Aaron started shrinking down. I was like, it's fucking the end of the world. It's so great. I do not know if I can pull it up. All right, my channel. Videos. Oh my God. Actually, wait, it's still a public video.
I gotta make this thing voice safe to keep alive. But I already had to go through and be like, hey, this is not good TV for children.
This is not for children. No.
This is not. Forgive us.
I was so drunk. I was just stating because I had to set it for not for children, and I was already 2 quadruples down.
Aaron. Aaron, he launched it from the side of the counting down. Happy New Year! Oh, Aaron over the south. I told you. Oh my God! Can I zoom? Holy shit! Look at that. 20.
Yeah. We had no idea it was coming for 2020, though. We had a damn good time. That was... Intermittent fasting for me. Fast overnight, eat around 8 a.m. Fast until noon 30. Fast overnight. Yeah, that's the corporate lifestyle. We're doing murder hornets now.
Oh my God! The trash can's on fire. Oh, that too. But the trash can's on fire.
Oh my God, Zachary! Oh, are you here? Oh my God! Oh no, I had a brain. My eyes fucking crossed. I went to a mall. I can't. You've heard Christmas carols. You've heard Christmas carols. Just.
I'm having a stroke.
I just ear turned inside out. You want to completely sing along with that song and you have no idea what the lyric is going to be. Aaron's over there still being perturbed.
It's kind of a treacherous walk home. What is that? The first bonfire of the New Year's?
I want that back. I don't even remember what fucking mall I was in, though. It was an indoor-ish one. And I started, like, singing. But I couldn't sing along to the music. And I finally followed it around. And there was, like, a German Santa like totally skinny, look skinny and tall with the floppy hat, not like big, and this little skinny wise man beard, walking around with the bell, just dong 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 dong. I'm like, this is Bizarro World Christmas. I didn't know what was going on.
Beers.
That was back when I was updating Snapchat a lot, getting super drunk and doing Snapchat, having random teammates pouring schnapps in my mouth. Ugh. What is this country? What is this country at all? Of course, Zachary and Matt are still down there at some midget latitude. I north, you sinful bitches. Austin at 42. Christ, cracker. If you watch that, I think Matt watched the football video from fucking Thursday. It came out, it was yesterday's video. It was like 10:15 at night. I like even last night I was like, we're gonna watch another episode of Lucifer because it's still fucking bright outside. It's gonna suck trying to go to bed tonight just to wake up relatively early. We still got a couple more minutes to go. Of course, I've been doing these live streams since that got dark out there. Of course, it would be till like 11 o'clock sometimes, but even by like 9, people would come in and they're like, "Where are you at with the sun setting?" And I'm like, "I live in Amsterdam." Now it's like bright as sin.
Where are you at with the sun up?
Earth? What's funny is I couldn't find that song on SoundHound. I recorded it for Snapchat, but then I tried to find it on SoundHound, and it didn't exist because I wanted to like read the lyrics. That's Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I know. Is this? Oh, Sultano. People love your ads.
Rudolf het een heel speciaal cadeau was. Heb je Rudolf? Hoor dat Rudolf zegt. De elfen werkten echt.
Oh, that's the story. I want the song. Not the story in Dutch. Well, that's it. It's just not sang by that person.
De kerstman, Rudolf rode neusjes aan. Hier gaat hij steeds met hem mee in de kerstmistijd.
That's it. It's just too much for my ears. It's with vaccinations heading out right now, possible patch coming up in June 5. Like that's the plan, but who knows what will actually happen this. I mean, I don't want to say this week because anything that happens from the sunny weather this week is not going to affect the numbers. So it's strange that we may actually go into pads and they're like, oh no, we've had way too many rising cases. Split the ages again. Oh, the Enterprise D is coming to Star Trek Fleet Command. Hey. Fun times, all the times. Doing murder hornets now. Yep. That's exactly how we do the murder hornets. Dismantle. Oh. Yeah.
You were not kidding.
What?
It's June, and you've got Christmas carols stuck in your head.
He's always surprised by this one. When the sun comes out and I've been out like exercising and I have a bunch of vitamin D, I get Christmas carols stuck in my head. It's really bad around my birthday, the middle of July. I'm acting like it's the debut of Frozen. One thing gets me weird about watching people's like selfies, but they record. Like there's those action photos where they can record like a small GIF and you can find which frame you like, but then they post the actual like GIF or boomerang happens. And there's like so many people that while they're moving their phone up, they move into the selfie. And during the boomerang thing, it works really well because they go. And I'm like, it seems weird and programmed.
That's because it is.
Okay. I was like, and I love the thing where there's two versions of it. It's the Valley girls in California that are taking selfies and they look absolutely fun and absolutely happy and they're besties with each other when the selfie's on. Then they hate each other otherwise. And then there's the two Asian girls that like they turn their backs and like, oh hello, hi. Yeah. When you're facing other people, you got to be very nice and happy and insincere and sweet. But when you got your back turned, you're a foul bitch. And here I am, fucking eating spaghetti. What you doing?
Bathroom.
Weirdo. Yeet.
Ow.
I'll be right back. You okay?
Yeah.
All right, I'm back. There was a crash bang, and I had to make sure he was okay. Sometimes I leave stuff laying around that I know is there, but he doesn't.
Naar huis gaan natuurlijk. Ja, dat kerk. Dus zie je dus gewoon een boeien. En dat is de boeien. Maar natuurlijk dat in Amsterdam, dan krijg ik een soort, oh my god, yes, queen, king, gay guys, period. What the fuck? Hou je bek. Ja, maar als queer ben je echt een minority. En het is echt belangrijk dat je dan voor jezelf opkomt. Hou gewoon je bek. Doe gewoon waar je zin in hebt.
Just in case you don't know, that's Dutch. It may sound like Simlish, but it's Dutch.
Hey, bud. So I met Ian's parents today, and now he's mad. Yeah.
Also, let's not forget that 2 weeks ago in New Zealand used one Māori word and everyone got just as angry. Silhouettes at dusk along the calm harbours of Tamaki Makaurau. For those of you who don't know, Tamaki Makaurau is the indigenous word for this place, Auckland. Literally just that was enough to make all the angry old white racist people in New Zealand just dive on the page. Are you in Auckland or what? I live in Auckland. I don't live in Tamaki Makaurau. Who said that we should change the name of our beautiful city? Richard, mate, no one's changing the fucking name. The post says New Zealand twice and Tamaki Makaurau once. It only has one Māori noun in the whole post. Calm the fuck down. Also, it was Tamaki Makaurau first, so chill the fuck out. What gets me about this is that no one at all mentioned the changing of the name. It just has two names. But now, because Richard said it, Steve believes it. Steve has written, agreed, leave it. Do you think Steve understands that all animals and plants in the world also have a Latin name? We're not changing the names. Sometimes things have two names. Also, let's not forget that 2 weeks ago in New Zealand used one Māori word and everyone was just as angry.
And every night when I get home, plug in the car, wake up real
I mean, yeah.
Huh, interesting.
Air New Zealand gonna have its issues using Maori words and all that jazz, but they also put out the safety video that was basically Lord of the Rings 4 for their air flight safety. That is a weird, and even had Elijah Wood in it. And a couple other actors. Like, they made a whole safety video for that plane based around the Lord of the Rings. It just, I don't know which is better. Lord of the Rings flight safety video for Air New Zealand or Google Wind. If you don't know about Google Wind, please YouTube that. It's an April Fool's joke. Despite what it may seem like.
I'm the exact same way. Prop license plates. In movies and TV shows, we never use real license plates. They're always fake. And if it's a reality show, we'll just blur it. We do it because the lawyers tell us to. I'm not sure the exact legalities of it all, but we just always done. They're vacuum formed plastic, and we'll screw them on hero vehicles, or for background cars, we'll use Joe's sticky stuff. It's a super strong removable adhesive. We'll use generic plates when we're shooting a national commercial. That way we're not featuring any certain state that can be shown anywhere. We use legally cleared state license plates that can't match up to any actual individual vehicles. I've been at this so long, I can spot them a mile away. Got a good license for a fake license.
The fuck Netherlands? What's that Netherlands? God damn it. They're just towing the back half of another car. It just, God damn it, Netherlands. Oh, I like that. Give me more ICs.
So yeah, this is our pasta water. No! Oh, that's
Things Europeans understand, but Americans don't. Part 2. French fries were invented by Belgium. Europe is a continent, not a country. Not having to pay much money in hospitals.
I'm starting a Norwegian alcohol series because I just moved here and I know nothing about Norway.
I could probably start a Belgian beer thing, but I'd be schnockered in like no time.
That's why you call the Chicago Fire Department.
I wouldn't want a screw bouncing around while I'm flying the plane. But in the ring. The new pipe, fucking A. How did I get on Dutch? Balcony pimping? Fucking shit, guys. Oh, you're obsessed with the Netherlands and your friends and family know it without telling me.
Op 25 december 2016 las mijn moeder de krant. Ze zag dit artikel. Ze dacht, oh ja, dit moet ik voor Annelies bewaren. Annelies. En nu 5 jaar later heeft ze het aan mij gegeven. Vertel me dat je...
Soldaten van Oranje. Oh no, I can't with that. I can't even.
There's a secret. Philadelphia cream cheese is different in America than it is in Europe. Here's the deal. In America, you can buy cream cheese in 2 different forms, either in a block, kind of like butter, or in a tub. The tub cream cheese has more water in it to make it spreadable even when it's cold. The block cream cheese has a higher fat concentration, which means that it's denser and has less moisture. Tub cream cheese and block cream cheese are also made using different coagulation processes, the end result of which is that...
Okay, so I'm going to the gym for the first time in months.
I'm doing fine. Just got into Scottish TikTok momentarily. But yeah, the sun's out. Everyone is heading out. It's like 8 o'clock. We're still gonna have at least 2 hours of daylight. Sun sets at like 9:50 around here right now, so it's gonna be a pain in the butt to get to sleep later, but I'll be fine. Got practice tomorrow. I'll find out the definitive word on when we can go back into pads. Maybe for the 5th. Well, the 5th is the decision date. We have no hanging calendar, so I have to keep going to a fucking digital one, and it bothers the hell out of me. Okay, so Saturday looks to be the date of... So hopefully Tuesday they'll make the decision on the 1st or Monday, and then Saturday things will begin to open back up again. So 6/6 should be wearing my pads. Make sure that I have good clothing for that.
because the gyms have been closed for so long, and when they reopened, I got a new job and didn't get a chance to go. So I'll update this video when I come back from the gym. Oh no, we'll keep that on. So I'm back from the gym. I lasted 8 minutes and 22 seconds on a cross trainer and then nearly passed out. Yeah.
What is a cross trainer? Cross trainer? Oh, it's like an elliptical of sorts. Of sorts. I'll buy one for bowl.com. Do you deliver? It's like a bike elliptical arm mover thing. Okay. He lasted 8 minutes on a cross trainer. Well, I mean, at least I'm not that bad. At least I make it like 45 minutes going at an incline. Keep telling people, I was like, just hit that incline for 45 freaking minutes. See what you guys are feeling like. My ears feel warm. Did they get sunburned? No? Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to check.
Random German laws. Hey, you can't cut any trees or bushes from the beginning of March until the end of September. Why? Well, because of the birdies, of course. The birdies? Yes. These are their homes. Many insects and animals need them to survive, and we must protect that. That makes sense. Hey, that's your neighbor's leaf. You have to put it back in their yard. But their bush was on my side of the property. Doesn't matter. Legally, it's theirs. So you have to give it back. Random German.
I almost drowned because I'm stupid. So I was getting scuba dive certified because, you know, what happens if that lake spontaneously floods? I'm getting out. I'm doing my thing. I'm underwater and I'm with my family. And I want to show my family that I was having a good time. So I, underwater, 100 feet down, had my oxygen mask in, and then I take it off to show them that I was smiling. And this is where the stupid began. Because when you're 100 feet underwater, the pressure is pretty intense. So it just busts into my mouth as I unseal my lips to show them that I'm a happy camper. Now, at this point, I'm taking big gulps of seawater. When I say big gulps, I mean sponsored by 7-Eleven Big Gulps. So I'm taking big drinks of seawater at this point. But for some reason, whenever I'm in a near-death experience, my body just calms down. I have no idea what's up. I think it's probably like, finally, no more near-death experiences. And during that time of calm, I cleared out my oxygen mask, put it back in my mouth, cleared all the water out of my face, and I was like, I'm good. But then, long story short, just don't smile underwater no matter how happy you are.
There are people in the world who are good at math naturally. Yeah, man, I heard the same thing. I heard it's like 10% of the population, and then the other 95% thought some.
Hello, I'm from the Belarusian government. As our presidents.
Why is every single person that does pottery on TikTok hot as fuck? Like, I'll be. Now look at this. Now look at this.
There's a staircase underneath the bench? Where? What is this? Why do you do this? Where does this happen? Officiële Gent. Oh, in Ghent, Belgium. All right, fine. Universiteit van Ghent.
Without telling me your age, tell me something that someone a lot younger than you just wouldn't understand.
Hey, flip the tape over, and you're going to fast forward to the next song.
Without telling me?
I just realized I've never spoken at a conference where there was a sign language interpreter.
Put your head on my.
Why? What is this country? What is this country? The dude just did the glow up meme by going from a bike to a Peugeot. Not even like a good Peugeot. Like one of the ones from the late 90s. Like so terrible. It's just like there's such dorks around here. What is this country? There's such dorks. Why? I'm seriously.
Let's go like this. You ever had a 15-course Michelin star meal?
I haven't, unfortunately. But have you considered that back in 1971, France was so tired of America's shit that they sent over a naval destroyer to New Jersey? After World War II, Asia and Europe were in complete shambles, but America doing pretty great. America said, oh my God, we're going to make the US dollar the world reserve currency. Every bank in the world has to have US dollars, okay? Why should you keep these in your banks? Oh, it's because this is the most stable currency in the world. Guys, this is backed by its equivalent in gold. I mean, it's really not, but they don't need to know that. But France figured it out, and they were just like, wait, America's scamming us. So in 1971, they came to New Jersey with 200 million of these and said, we'd like to trade them for gold, please, as you said we could. America realized that if all the countries followed France's lead, they would find out that America didn't have enough gold to back its dollar. So America decided, we're just going to get out the gold standard altogether.
You ever had a 15?
Leave it up to the French to call America out on its bullshit.
So how'd a guy come and apply to work for us?
So the question is, do I find joy in Britain's abroad who vote?
I'm going to show you how I'm able to eat pasta every single day. Use up any vegetables you have in the fridge.
One of our customers gave us a negative review because our boxes were not discreet enough, and we totally agree. While some people like the box, others prefer the discretion. So when you check out in the notes, drop a message of how you'd like a ship. One of our customers gave us.
I am on Dutch TikTok right now, and it's weirding me out. And Belgium, because Ghent. With a little bit of Brabant. Brabant.
The negative review.
Ik zal eens even kijken als ik nou live ga of dat nou echt klopt. Want soms weet je het niet. Dan doet TikTok hele rare dingen.
Ambulance driver in the Netherlands has gone live.
Eerst jullie het een beetje behoren. Maar dan ben ik er inderdaad gewoon weg.
Trend alert! In this series I keep.
No.
Scott Lang reads The Fault in Our Stars in Ant-Man and the Wasp, which means John Green exists in the MCU, which means Hank Green exists in the MCU.
Which means you exist in the MCU. I did it. I just did that. Beanie Sanford's exists in the MCU. I've been given far too much power.
There's really something I don't know what to do with it.
Thought I could have cracked those. Not a good idea to do that.
Therapist, and I have a message for Gen Z. I don't really think that I'm the person for this message, but no one said it yet. So here it goes. The one thing that I've noticed about Gen Z throughout this entire pandemic, the one thing that I've noticed is that there hasn't been a whole lot of complaining from you about the things that you've lost, and it seems that you've lost almost everything. And the thing that I just want to say, hopefully on behalf of all adults, is that it's an incredible honor to share this world.
No, they have been complaining though, but
Got real close, I think. Is there one in there? Oh, I can hear him.
Hey, Brian. What English word has 3 consecutive letters? 3 sets of consecutive letters.
So it's the same letter 3 times in a row.
Hang on, let me look at it again. Okay, we're back. 3 consecutive double letters.
Het meisje in deze TikTok is Ella. En ik ken Ella, want scoliosis is going on. Why do you look like Mount Everest? Nobody says that.
oh my god, that kid was yeeted by the surfboard.
Wow.
Boom. Get fired.
What was the coolest role that your parents gave you growing up?
How does it keep getting better?
Oh my god, I would never want to do that in public. Why? Nothing. It's funny when people say that. Are you saying you would let your kids do that in public? Your kids getting let. Funny part. I'm sorry, but if you're a parent, you're responsible for your child's behavior. No, yeah. You're a parent, you're responsible, yeah, but you don't let them do anything. I don't get the joke here. I'm sorry. You're right. You're responsible as the parent, but that's a human being. They have their own thoughts and their feelings and agendas and their own ideas of what to do in the world. And the idea that anyone is letting their child misbehave. Well, that sounds like you just don't know how to control your kids. You don't have a kid without that.
Which is one of the things I kind of learned having Mira in the house. There isn't anything about letting them do anything. They full on willingly do it themselves. It's like the impulse control, like Zachary was talking about earlier. His parents don't let him eat fast food. They bring it around and he's like, don't mind if I do. All that jazz. It's just, we haven't even turned the lights on in here. You can kind of see that it's getting a little dark up at the top of the screen. Kind of. I guess it's just that. Well, the mayonnaise video is making its rounds again.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
You done with your pasta?
Yeah. Here, take my fork too. Be gone.
You see how he treats these.
This filter.
Oh God, some people have the weirdest ways of making coffee and consider it the only way that coffee should ever be made. So bad. No, don't open swap feeds. Open chickens. Chickens. We've got chili cheese and nacho cheese. I'm gonna have the chili cheese one. Then I'm probably gonna, I don't know, 8:05. Let's see, it was 15 minutes from when Zachary said something to Mark came in and said hi, and I answered his question, and then now it's 8:20-ish. Bopping my head like that damn cat. Saw a TikTok. It was like Tuesday, and it was like, don't like. It was more about the streamers on Twitch that were like starting to get ragey about like having 5 people in their chat but not saying any, but nobody was saying anything. They're like, people sometimes have hard times talking. They don't know what to say. They don't know what to do. They're super shy, and sometimes like, you know, you're just the voice they need to keep their sanity going. You're doing a lot by just streaming. I'm like, yep, that's that. And I kind of realized that, you know, perhaps like, you know, if it got to the point where there was like 50 viewers simultaneous on either Twitch or here, and the chat wasn't moving at all, I'd be a little sus at that point. Like view bots and stuff. Like something's wrong here. I don't know what's going on here, man. But you know, I'm waiting kind of for the football videos to pick back up because it's that time of year where they start spiking because football season's coming around again. They may be still dealing with. No, it's more June. That's when those happen. Well, at least I got the stuff up and ready to go. Some of the analytics, uniform suit up. Oh yeah, 139 views in the last 48 hours. Yeah, that's interesting. I want the actual video. I can't get the analytics on that. I have to do that. The app doesn't allow me to do that. I have like the most neurotic, just, you know, my field of vision is way bigger. I saw you moving that way and immediately looked up at the screen.
Yeah. I figured that it might get some kind of reaction from chatters.
Somebody, probably not. Matt and Mark are probably at work. Zachary, like, I think he closes his phone half the time and goes, "Oh right, there's a live stream." Comes back into. It was like the 37. You're like, it just sort of like drives by, and we can never figure out the schedule on it. It just sort of phases in every once in a while. We're like, "Yay, the 37 is here." We're like, cool. And then the 37 disappears again. And we're like, how long do we have to wait for the next one? I don't know. The schedule says every 15 minutes, but
it's already been 30.
It's already been 30. Was it a stop? It was the thing said that the 37 was 5 minutes away. I waited for 9 minutes for it to change to 4 minutes. And then it stayed at 4 minutes after the bus had left. Like I got on the bus and was right next to the time reader thing and we left and it still said 4 and it went up to 5. And I was like, something's wrong with the 37. And it's just perpetually, there's probably another bus way out west that does the same thing. I can't necessarily think it's only the haunted 37.
Yeah.
Okay. So the last 365 days. So the crappy thing about the suit up video is it actually starts super spiking in September. But yeah, there it is. It's like end of June. It looks when it starts actually making its tall climb. And then at the beginning of September, there's a big spike. But that's just the estimated. Type of ads, skippable video ads, auction 60%, bumper ads, auction 21%, non-skippable video ads 9.3%, display ads. I think bumper ads, what would those be?
Starting at 5-second ads at the start or
Okay, so that's not the skippable video ads. That's like the Saldano ones where I can't skip them at all. They just do,
yeah.
And then moves into the video. Okay.
And display ads is a little rectangle at the bottom.
No, I know that one. Because there's also sometimes, maybe they took away from those because people were too busy maximizing.
Fresh juicy.
Oh, I have. That's right. I have Social Blade sitting up there. I was thinking there was ads over to the right of the video.
Oh, there can be, but they're typically related videos that you pay to have placed there.
Something like that. Yeah, I remember.
So it's usually like super targeted.
Yeah. Wow, that suited video for Europeans is actually high on the football uniform suit up, reaction to new cleats at practice. The reaction to Irish sports is just permanently going to be on that list because the Irish love experiencing Ireland. I feel like I need to take a trip to somewhere in the heart of Germany and go like vlog a handball match or something. Or something that's like uber German. And then the Germans will come and they'll just all over. In case you guys don't know, the European countries love finding videos where their country is tagged and talked about, and they just love coloniser all over it. I mean, in fact, even I'm starting to put in coloniser on a lot of TikTok videos, just because it seems
you're doing it for the meme.
I'm doing it for the meme. Yeah. They gotta cool a little bit. Just a little bit. They've just been like horribly deep fried. Well, air fried, but. That's not. You use that word wrong.
Me?
Matt Peterborg. You mean that nationalism isn't exclusively American? It's not. You use that word wrong.
But no, it isn't.
It isn't because the that party in Germany still exists. They have like 5 seats in their parliament right now. No, it's the Bundestag. Distribution of seats. Is this going to tell me? Is that the AFD? Is that the alternative for Deutschland?
Wouldn't that be the AVD? What?
No, it says AFD right here. It might be AVD, but right here it's alternative for Germany. Yeah, is the German nationalist and right-wing populist political party known for its opposition to the European Union and immigration. It is often characterized as being on the far right of the political spectrum. We've had numerous split-off parties. No, I'm actually I just read this. I read the defined nationalism on Google. Identification with one's own nation and support for its interests, especially to the exclusion or detriment of the interests of other nations, which is not what they do. They fandom. They don't.
They do national pride.
Yeah, they do national pride. They do. They do. Yeah, it's. Yeah. But like most of it is because the countries and the cultures are so different that you can, as Americans know, you can literally drive for an hour, hit 4 cultures, 3 languages, and 6 countries.
Yep, and I can think of where to do that too.
I can think of where to drive about 6 hours and do it. And get close to that. Because you could go from Amsterdam and you start getting into Brabant, which is a different culture but the similar country. And then you have Flanders, which is northern Belgium, one new country, totally different culture, still Dutch language. Then you get into Wallonia, which is southern Belgium, still the same country, but a different culture, different language. And then you get into France, which is slightly different thing, different culture, different country.
And different language.
And different language. And you're getting into northern border France, and then you get into Paris, which is city France.
But if you don't even, well, that's only 3 countries then.
I threw out random numbers to the thing.
But if you, instead of going into Paris, you clip the corner of France, might make it take longer. But if you instead go into Spain, they do border, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But France is big, bro.
Yes, that's why I say clip the corner.
You have to go directly through it to get from Belgium to you cannot clip a corner.
Okay.
That's like saying you're going from Spokane to Redding, California, but you're only going to clip the corner of Oregon.
I get it.
But when you're driving on the main route that would go from Amsterdam to Paris, you don't go through the German section. So that's what we were talking about there. But yes, that's the Flanders, but it's still Dutch. It's a dialect, not a mutually intelligible language. Frisian is different. Frisian is special. But yeah. But that's the general idea. You hit so many different cultures going through a small area that when you see a video and someone is not speaking your native language for that region, basically they probably don't live there, they probably have a different perspective on it. Now you could be watching to make fun of their stupidity, Americans, or I never thought to look at my area that way before. A lot of them watch it because they're crazy interested in what other people see from the outside. And it's not in the negative way of like selfies and what your image is, because they recognize that not everybody sees the same way. And so perhaps by seeing, they use the perception others have of them as a reflection upon themselves in a positive manner overall. But typically when it comes to Americans, they like to rag on Americans for being stupid. Yeah. Like Flemish is special. It's a dialect. It's like it's its own thing. Me learning Dutch and then listening to someone who's probably thick Flemish, I'm probably not going to really understand what they say because I don't have basic Dutch much internalized conversationally. But that's just with their different colloquial sayings about things. They still use the basic form, whereas Frisian is different. Yeah, see, even Wikipedia says that Flemish is a variety of Dutch. Whereas West Frisian, or simply Frisian, is a West Germanic language spoken mostly in the province of Friesland, in the northern part of the Netherlands, mostly by those of Frisian ancestry. And it actually has a much larger area involving northwest Germany and the Saxon area, Old Saxony. Because like Saterland Frisian language is spoken in Lower Saxony, Germany. North Frisian language is in Schleswig, Holstein, Germany. Middle Frisian is before that, as things evolve from that. Americans aren't necessarily stupid. By and large, a lot of Americans come here thinking touristy. And the idea is that Americans are horribly undereducated. And that's an int versus wisdom thing. I just looked at you because I'm bringing up D&D stats.
Yeah, and I wasn't listening until you said that.
Okay, so int versus wisdom. A lot of Americans come here and immediately pick up things and learn it, which is a wisdom idea. But they don't start out with a lot of intelligence about stuff because we're taught wrong. It's not even that we're just not taught. We're literally taught wrong. It's they're insulated, insular. That's what I mean, insular. Because you don't, and the same thing probably applies in China, and I wouldn't want to say Russia because most of Russia's population, I think, that we would think of as Russian are in the west side near Europe. But when you get large countries like that, it's almost by default you get insular because you don't need to leave to go. You aren't. It probably happens in Brazil too. Probably pretty bad with Australia, but they get a lot of because they're just on an island, so they just stick around with other Australians, and and if they don't travel much, because it is kind of a pain in the butt to get out of there. Even if they do travel to the north side of Australia, which is a long way, it's still Australia. They still use the same money. They still speak the same language. They still all that stuff. But like I think the light switch moment. There's a thing on saying, what was the thing in your life when she's sitting on a light switch? That was that light switch moment. And I was like thinking, I moved to the Netherlands. I didn't really understand Dutch that much. I had Duolingo German, and I was starting to work on Dutch once we had the idea we were going to move here, and I started cranking that up by a lot. And I'm going into a culture which has that as a base language, but I didn't realize how much they spoke English. If you guys listen to practice and stuff, it's crazy. That sometimes if I'm recording stuff at football, you can just especially for the offense, because we've got, at least at last practice, we have Russian QB, German head coach, offense guy who actually, speaks Dutch. He still doesn't get he says groaning, and he's trying to get a G and a at the same time. And I hear it. But it's still there. He's got it. Anyways, but he'll speak English and Mikhail will speak English, and then the Dutch guys will talk Dutch to each other. And if we have someone else who's new, but it's weird. And Utah, yeah, because you go, even if you were to travel in Portland had 5 quarters. We had Northwest Portland, Northeast Portland, Southeast Portland, Southwest Portland, and NOPO. There was technically also the downtown one, but whatever. But anyways, I don't think of the 4 cardinal directions. I always think of it as an X. So from Utah, and I know these are drastically far different, but if you wanted to go to the Northwest, you'd go to Portland, Seattle. If you want to go Southwest, you go to Los Angeles. If you want to go Southeast, you maybe hit somewhere in Texas, but probably the Dallas, the Houston, the bigger cities. And if you go Northeast, you could hit Denver, maybe even go as far as Minnesota. You're still in the United States. You're still going to be able to kind of talk to people, and you've traveled great distances in 4 different directions. You're not going to have as much of an issue. And so you can travel great distances, and you can't go, I don't know about that. Aaron's doing his multi-blinking. He's like, I have heard about it. I've heard about it for a couple of years now. It's show. So there are multiple propositions involving those 3 states. One of them is to flip the state border from east-west to north-south. You would get, so rather than having it along the Columbia River, you hit it along the mountains. Because by and large, there is a lot more similarities in the eastern parts of the states and the western parts of the states than there is between the northern parts of the state than the southern. We have to think of Oregon, Washington as relatively a similar thing. Because California, a little side note here, Southeast Oregon is a desert, and it is bordering upon northern Nevada, where there was a lot of nuclear tests. If you've seen the areas of Nevada, which are completely pockmarked with craters, think of that, but without the craters, and go to Southeast Oregon. Literally, there's nothing there. So when I talk about Eastern Oregon, I'm talking about the east side of the mountains, up along the river, towards the border of Idaho. And then there's a little bit down with like Madras and stuff, but when you're looking at that square part of the state, there's nothing there. Yes, coastal cities tend to be more liberal. But that's the division between the 2 states. If you could take that division and do that, you would have similar voting people here and similar voting people here, rather than having a quadrant state where you have Democrat Washington, conservative Washington, Democrat Oregon, conservative Oregon. I was like, I don't know if this is reversed or whatnot, so I'm just going I'm doing it reverse like I would on the video camera.
It is reversed.
So that's okay. So that's good. And so if you flip that, that's one. That's also something that the Cascadia folks try to bring up. More of the Cascadia is like merging the western half of the the 3 western states. That's interesting in and of itself. There's also the merging with Idaho, but you got to remember, there's nothing in Southeast Oregon. Oregon could, in theory, be split up 4 ways. In theory, if you take Idaho and you move it, its border more towards the mountain, you'll have Boise and Spokane and Pendleton. Those will be 3 significant cities in that area. And they're all, like, Spokane's not exactly very liberal, but it is a big city, and that's where they tend to congregate. The issue is we have universities all spread around the states, and you have to completely rename stuff. Because if you suddenly have Western Idaho University as Eastern Washington University, weird things. But you could then move, like, the Willamette Valley and the coast of Oregon into another state that could encompass Western Washington, because then the southwestern part of Oregon can be moved into its own state of Jefferson. Google Wikipedia that one. That was weird. Literally, there would be a 51st state if it wasn't for Pearl Harbor. Just, I'm leaving that one out there. I'm putting that one out there. You can fall down a rabbit hole on that one. If Pearl Harbor didn't happen, we'd have a 51st state. Its name would be Jefferson. And that would encompasses southwestern Oregon and northern California around the Klamath River. If you know about the Klamath River tribe and the river that's going on there. So that would be its own section, because Northern California really doesn't act like Southern California. You could probably even go really far down to like Redding and bordering Sacramento even to get to that. And then southeastern Oregon can be just shimmied off into Nevada. Nobody cares about that desert hellhole. But tell me you're from Oregon without saying, I came from Oregon. I literally just, I quadricated that fucking state culturally. That's how you can redesign the Pacific Northwest. But redefining state lines right now is awkward. But yeah. I mean, not to mention the borders and the cultures. But that's like I said, we're going back to like, you're in Utah. Don't know where in Utah, guessing Salt Lake City, that's where most of the population is. But you just go in those directions and you're going to hit a different culture and you're going to be like, oh, it's a small, fun little flavor. Like Denver is like, oh, it's just a really tall city with a bunch of mountains around it, and there's a high skiing culture. There's just less Mormons and more weed. Like that's Denver doesn't seem terribly different from Salt Lake City, other than no Mormons. Low Mormons. But anyways, but here it's like so back to the original thing of what was my light switch moment. I moved here. I didn't know much Dutch. They know English really well. Met some Germans, met a Finn, met Czech, a couple other people, met some, actually I don't know who those two were, where they were from. I think they're from Serbia. We had some guys that came out. They did a lot of, did construction grunt work. And they wanted to play football that they did in Serbia, but then I think they went back to Serbia during the pandemic and stuff. It's understandable. A lot of people returned home. And, but yeah, it's, I know. In terms of politics, Salt Lake City and Spokane are super similar because Spokane is a significant city. Like, it's only got 217,000 people, but it is clearly on the east side of the state. It's the big city. Like Amtrak has a stop there. My dad ran Portland to Spokane, and other guys he knew ran Seattle to Spokane, and they had a new crew that boarded at Spokane to go over the Rockies. Maybe that was its point. I don't know, and why it grew big, but Spokane is a fairly significant city for the eastern parts of the states, and would most likely become the de facto capital if the whole Idaho thing didn't happen. But as long as people are going to be fighting for Cascadia, they're going to be fighting for the problem is the rules are stuck. We can move the generations in and out. We can permanently age out and all that jazz, but the rules are stuck. And no matter how much you want, nobody can leave the union. Backtracking. So I moved here, got the Dutch, met all that stuff, had a relative, English is the lingua franca, understandable. Then that November, we go to Paris. We were technically near Charles de Gaulle Airport, but it's still Paris. As large as that city is, we were in the suburbs. Anyways, in a place called Villepinte. I'm not sure how the French say it, but whatever. And we stayed in a hotel. And it was a weird hotel, and it was fun. And we went over to a store because they're like, oh, across the street is a supermarket. Across the street, let's go to the supermarket. So we went to the supermarket. I walk inside, immediately the damn thing looks like a Safeway. Looks like a Safeway, looks like an Albertsons, looks like a Thriftway. We're talking 26 fucking aisles, warehouse ceiling, deep as the fucking Mediterranean is on a summer day. Just huge grocery store. And my Dutchies are like, what is this? I'm like, it's a grocery store, not a supermarket. This is only a grocery store. They only have 30 aisles. And I counted like really quick. I saw, because, you know, numericals. And they're like, this place is so big. I'm like, I know. And then we had to walk to the other end because gated entrances. Yes, I'm being Italian and counted all my steps today.
My phone just told me that I hit my 10,000 step goal today.
Huh. You were walking around in CNA more than I was. Anyway, so we went into the grocery store, and I'm walking around with like 20 to 30-year-old Dutchies. And I was like, what's this? It looks like cheese, but I don't know what that says. Do you read? I'm like, I don't fucking read French. I'm like, oh my God, are we on the same level right now? I'm like, yeah, I took like I took like half a year of it back in like grade 6, and I forgot most of it because whatever, they all speak English. And we had no idea. Like, I was literally walking around with like Jimmy and like someone else, and we were like picking things up and like, what is this? What is, like, I recognize the brand. Is that their word for tea? And like Jimmy would pull out his phone and he'd hit French to Dutch translation. And that's the light switch moment. We drove 6 hours and suddenly I was on a level playing field linguistically. With people from the Netherlands. It was surreal. I think you were laying down for a small nap or something.
No, I was with you.
You weren't on the camera. I think you were resting because we were stuck in the bus for so long, and then we had to go. I think a bunch of us went. Was that breakfast, or did we go breakfast and you were sleeping in a bit? Whatever. Because, yeah, we got in. We had like an hour or two before we needed to go to the field, and you were just frustrated and you needed to like stretch out and stuff. And I think I went over with Jimmy and everybody to the.
Because I remember going in there, but I get what you mean.
Yeah, you weren't on the vlog, but I mean, the desire to split the stage will probably grow, but there's no way to do it. Like, we had our chance with Jefferson. We just now have to add land to make new states, to make redefined states. I mean, yeah. I can't believe the Wikipedia for Jefferson, proposed Pacific state, actually has in the Wikipedia, admitted to the Union, proposed 51st state. The capital would have been Wairika. Largest city would have been Modesto. Legislature, House and Senate proposed. U.S. House delegation to be defined. If it had been created, it would have been the 14th largest state. Possibly because it would have taken a good chunk out of Oregon and moved that down the list. But it would have had a population at the time of counting of 3 million people. Matthew Willett. How varied the topics of your life stream are. It's true. You just got to bring up a topic. I have accidentally learned so many things over the years. I have accidentally memorized things. Like, you know that it's way up there. Like in my age. Like that's the thing is I'm not anywhere close to that dude from Jeopardy. I don't have the trivial, stupid knowledge that I can answer on a whim from like Jeopardy, but the things I have fallen down rabbit holes on sticks around. And it keeps bubbling up to the surface every once in a while, probably for whatever reason, and it's just oh my God, is there still a website for State of Jefferson? Yes. They've made a website for it. But that's the thing. I know Matt Peterborg, Matthew Willett, and Matthew Riley. I'm starting to look here at that Desperate Housewives episode. Is that Jeff with a G or Jeff with a J? Oh no, it's Jeff with a G and 2 Fs, not Jeff with a J and 1 F. Huh? Because we have Matt with 2 T's, Matthew with 2 T's, and Matthew with 1 T. Which actually really funny is I don't know if it's my favorite. There are 2 names. I don't know. I'm going to put them both in the chat. There are 2 Dutch names, and they're very similar, but I love them both. If we had a kid that we could voluntarily name, like a boy, I would be really torn as to about these 2. That's pronounced Timon and Tice. Tice is actually the nickname for Matthias, or Matthijs. I had no idea about Jefferson. I'm going down a rabbit hole tonight. Their website is soj51.org. stateofjefferson51.org. It definitely looks like it was made through GeoCities. So, but yeah, the fact is there are actually still things alive and well in that area that call themselves Jefferson. But yeah, I'm not sure exactly what the root of Timon is, but Tice is Matthijs, Mattthijs, Matthijs, which is the Dutch form of Matthias. So
Shaw. Matthijs Shaw.
Tice. You know that's his twink name. Herkomst en betekenis van de naam Diamond. Oh, translate that. It's a jongensnaam, 131. Its popularity is 131 boys are given this name at a position 125 in 2020. Origin, Germanic Dutch, meaning man of the people. Oh, Timon is derived from Daimon. Okay. 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 Yeah, Thijs is a common Dutch given name and surname. It's short for Matthijs or Matthew. The IJ is pronounced EI. Some notable people of that name. Thijs Au, born in 1980, Dutch mountain biker. Thijs Maries, 1839 to 1917, Dutch painter, etcher, and lithographer. Oh, so it's I'm looking at the given name. They're all Dutch. If it's a surname, it's Belgian footballer, Belgian politician, Belgian road bicycle racer, Belgian book collector, Belgian, Flemish. So apparently it's a surname in Belgium. It's a given name in Dutch. Oh my God, it's going to be 20 tomorrow. Oh, I'm wearing spandex to practice. Huh. I may not even be putting the football pants on. I'm probably just going to leggings and shorts. 20 fucking degrees and football practice. I might, do I have to put on goop? Shit. I might have to just put some on my ears.
I think I might.
Oh no, I always do that. I'm going to do that till that tube runs out. The doctor even said, I guess we'll just wait for this tube to run out and we'll see what happens. It doesn't look like it's getting better. Starting to wonder if that's not black or if it's not red underneath. It's just the color showing through a very thin scar, not scab. But yeah, the great state of Jefferson. Was it referenced in The Simpsons? Oh no, it wasn't. No, I thought it might have been. But no. Nice. Thijs is one of the first two satellites of the Galileo Global Navigation Satellite System, named after a Belgian boy who won a drawing competition.
Nice.
The Global Navigational Satellite System, GNSS, that went live in 2016, created by a European Union through the European Space Agency, operated by, that's a lot of the word Europe. Headquartered in Prague, with 2 ground operation centers. Okay. Main objectives of the mission. I don't need the history. The different concepts of 3 main contributors of ESA, Germany, France, and Italy, for Galileo were compared to and reduced to one by joint. Okay. All right. But yeah, the reason with my as you said, the topics on the live stream is because
I mean, they say it on TikTok a lot. I'm just following the dopamine, man. I'm following the threads as they flow. When I brought this up to Aaron a lot. A lot of normies don't really understand what I mean by the fact that my thoughts are like a constantly spinning thread. Like you can take like circles and they sort of like wiggle around each other. They can pass through each other because they don't interfere with each other, but it's just constantly spinning, and I can just reach up and I can pull a little filament out, and sometimes it comes more and more and more, and that's how I interpret, like, okay, I need to know this information. And I pull up trash with it sometimes. I'll get to my point eventually. I'll remember what I need, but I'm also going to pull up a lot of other crap and seaweed in the process. But that's it, is I'm just pulling threads down, and sometimes you get something long, sometimes you don't, but there's a lot spinning up in that cloud. I think I'm going to make this one go for another, I'll give you guys till 9:30. It's 9:12 right now. I do need to get calmed down and sleepy deepy, even though it is 9:12. I mean, it's admittedly very bright over there. Let's see about showing you guys the skate park. Yeah. It's just see, that's where the birds are all picking up their stuff from where I clap my cleats off. But yeah, this window right here is where I see a lot of the boats going through, and it's literally just 90 degrees. Like you can see me here and I just go, but it's, yeah. My hand's not nearly as steady as it is with I'm also like trying to do this. I tried to do it at the camera one time. I tried to look at 90 degrees from what I was actually seeing on the camera, and I just could not hold it. I was like even Aaron would have a tough time filming a game like this.
Oh yeah.
You're like,
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is like you guys can't really see unless sunlight is so cool, but you can see. I'm getting out of the way so the camera can maybe adjust a little bit. This right here is sun reflections. Like some of y'all are used to like the sun kind of in the process of going down, but we still have defined shadows right now. That's each of these balconies right here has a bit of sun glinting off of it into the camera. But yeah, as you guys can see, the kids must love it. They do. It's like it's refresh, please. See, it's like 13 degrees outside. It's great. It feels like it's 12. You know, and the sun is shining and the wind is just nothing. Bow and alarm, the weather. Okay, so it says BFT3, but that doesn't affect this inner area. And even BFT3 is probably like nothing as is right now. But yeah, it's going to be this way for the first part of the week. I'm not necessarily sure why there isn't a lot of kids out right now. Maybe they'll probably be out just in force tomorrow night, though.
Yeah.
Because this is such nice weather, they're probably out, doing practices or like sporting things. Like they're out at
football practice and hockey and lacrosse and all that jazz. But it's pleasant weather. Yes, it's very, very pleasant. Because like I'm gonna give you guys the benefit of like internal brain workings, and I said that on TikTok. I was like, did any people? A lot of Americans are like having trouble with the conversion from Fahrenheit to Celsius. I'm like, that is admittedly stupidly confusing.
What?
But that's the thing is, did you learn Fahrenheit from converting? No. You what? What is shorts weather to you? What is shorts weather to you? In Fahrenheit.
72 plus.
If it was 72 in a day like today,
I would have been wearing shorts.
You would have been wearing shorts, and that was we were in the upper 60s, but you acclimated.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. What's shorts weather to you? And as I said on TikTok, in New York, it's probably like upper 60s. In Portland, it was like 70, low 70s. In Southern California, oh, people are putting their shorts on at 80 degrees because it's 70. It's winter time. But how did you know that? How did you know what number corresponded to what you should wear? So you have that number before, but you need to convert it. No, don't. Go the fuck outside. You know? Open up a window. If you're like, I do not know what 15 degrees feels like, open up a window and then stand there for a little bit in whatever clothing you think you want to go out in that day. If you made a mistake, fix it for next time. Same thing. Is this half a liter? Half a liter. What's that announces? I happen to know it because I'm making that TikTok at 16.9.
Did you have to look it up, or did you just ask me?
No, I looked it up while I was doing the TikTok in the bedroom.
Okay. Because I know that you did ask me a little while ago.
Oh, no, I asked you what, yeah, but it was in between. But that's what I brought up in the video. I was like, this is 500 milliliters. This is 500 milliliters. These are the exact same volume. What's that announces? It doesn't fucking matter. That's the thing. You're converting in the hopes that you but it doesn't matter. So you know that this is 16.9. You cannot go to any store and ask for 16.9 ounces of beer. Ask for a half liter. They're still going to look at you funny and want to give you a full liter, but you know, well, these British pubs still serve it in pints. Yeah, they do. But that's what you're ordering. You don't order 0.53 of a pint. You order half a pint or a full pint or 7 pints. It's just how you order it. You know? A quick drink, 250 milliliters. A decent thing to sip off of while you're talking a lot, half a liter. Whole liter, probably a good day long of sipping water.
Half a day.
Half a day. But for people that aren't just constantly chugging water, but just that sipping water, it'll last you the whole day. If you're working at like Best Buy and you know you could keep a liter of water around, and that's what that is. You know, keep it at your desk and just sip off a liter of water. Oh, what's that whole 33 centiliters? Beer.
I just got a feature update, and I still don't have that stupid little
that Coda Hail.
Coda Hail.
Coda Hail. I don't know why it keeps telling me code yellow.
Because it's code yellow.
Whatever. But yeah, and that was the general idea about when you're converting units. Don't convert. Just look at something. If you buy 250 milliliters of something and you go, hey, I want more, get half a liter next time. You don't have, like, you know, and I know this because I was trying to do the conversions. I was trying to figure out, oh God, well, how hot is it outside? Well, it says it's 12 degrees, and that's just freaking freezing for me, and I don't really want to deal with that. And yeah, I just clicked one day. I was like, why? I'm putting so much work on myself. Is Celsius better? Yeah, I don't know. And some of the people are complaining, well, like Celsius has like so many different degrees in it. I'm like, if you are able to match, if there is a difference in your clothing going outside in Amsterdam between what you perceive as 64 and 66 degrees, you are a prissy. You are prissy. That's it. I'm sorry, 64 and 66, yeah, are probably the exact same number. And you see the number 13 all day long. What does that mean? That means you have very stable temperatures. Like, it's going to be 20 tomorrow. So and I say it a lot on the vlogs, and I know that y'all are smart and do the conversion so you understand for that one. Whenever I use numbers in the teens, just realize I'm talking between 50 and 68 degrees Fahrenheit. 10 is 50 degrees. 20 is 68 degrees. It's like 68.576, but whatever. But that's it. When I say, oh my God, it's gonna be 20, if I say 21 in the low 20s, we're talking in the 70s here. But that's all you really need to know. You know, like what was the thing? 10 is cool, 20 is not.
0 is cold, 10 is not, 20 is warm, 30 is hot.
Not what I found. I found 10 is cool, 20 is not, 30 is warm, 40 is hot.
I think it really depends on where you live.
True.
Because if you get the average Dutchie or Canadian, they are not going to think that 30 is warm. They're going to think 30 is death.
Well, that's the thing is I was looking this up in English, which is probably going to be how Americans understand it. And let's ask the person that's in the chat who probably lives in the overall coldest, bitterest, coldest area of the United States. Boston. Is 80 degrees warm or hot? Because that's roughly what 30 degrees is. Roughly. It's like mid-80s. Like, that's, it's, I mean, you got to think body temperature is 37 C. So if the air temperature is 40, is hot. 30 C is 86. That is, even in acclimated to Portland, 86 is warm. Warm to hot. Warm in caps is what he says. 80, like so pushing that. And as Aaron said, is right. We get anywhere close to the mid-20s and we're opening cooling centers here. We start breaking 80 degrees and we are opening the cooling centers. They didn't do that in Portland until we were multiple days over 90.
Yeah.
Multiple days over 90. Like I told the guys on the team, they're like, well, they've opened up the cooling centers with air conditioning. It's one of the few places that have it for old people who can't really handle the heat anymore. I'm like, yeah, we had them in Portland. It would happen and I pulled up my phone. I was like, somewhere over about 32 to 33 degrees for you guys. They're like, It took that long for you guys to turn them on? I was like, well, you gotta remember everywhere else has thing. It's just that it's easier to keep a smaller place cooler with old people and the fragile. 90 is hot. Yeah. Yeah. So when you get 40 degrees, 40 is definitively hot. Because that's like that's hot tub water. I make every time I'm in a hot tub and I see the little thermostat thing that's like bobbing around in there, 40 C to Fahrenheit is 104 degrees. Yeah, hot tubs depending on the thing can be anywhere between 102 and 105. So if the air feels like a hot tub, that's hot. 86 to America for a lot of people, that's warm. But considering it's, 13 degrees out, it's going to be, it's not even going to be 20 tomorrow. We're going to be eating dinner when it's like 20 tomorrow. Aaron's like, oh my God, that's going to be so nice.
Yeah.
We're going to sit on the shady side of Tomatillo.
Okay.
Aaron's like, I'm totally okay with not being blinded.
Yeah.
Yeah, right now it's 47. Which puts me at like 8-9 degrees. Because like I said, 10 is 50. That's the conversion happens really well for that. Yeah, and when you have thermal differences like that, things get crazy. But like in March, I was considering not taking my gloves on a bike ride because the wind chill wasn't pushing my hands beneath the freezing point. Like 47 degrees in a bike ride. Most of those bike rides that I was going on in March, it was like 9 degrees. And as long as you kind of know the areas that overlap, that's still a conversion, but you're not doing you're not obsessing over the actual numbers of conversion. It's the same thing with damage meter and WoW. I don't have a damage meter anymore. I haven't for the entire time we've been living here. Well before that, I stopped worrying about my damage numbers. One, because I'm in Raid Finder, and two, because I know how to play my class, and I know what the hell I'm, and I know how to not stand in the fire. I place a little bit more benefit in like having, defensive capabilities and keeping a strong shield on myself to keep it easier on the healers. Overall. But yeah. Yeah, like right now it's 47. Time. Yeah, and it's goes straight across the clock. It's like 3:30 right now. You're hitting like your time. You're hitting your high time of the day. Temp. Bustin'. Yeah. I've had to do enough conversions on YouTube. So over the years. So I saw 47. I was like, what is that, like 8? Phone says 8. Winds 27 kilometers per hour. Jesus fucking Christ. Ah!
It's a phased rollout, and I just don't have it yet.
But I got it first. I got it back. I still don't get it away. 20.
I can get rid of it if you want. It's easy.
Oh, please. When I get done with the live stream here, please get rid of it, because when I hover over it, it wants to bring up this news thing, and I literally check mark every intereses beher, and I checked off everything, and it still gives me news.
Okay.
27 kilometers per hour. Yeah, that's Beaufort 4. I'd be a bit sus on riding a bike at that point. At least over the bridge. Hopefully that stuff turned out really well for you guys with me one-handed on the phone. The phone does overall get clearer pictures, but like I could not, I think I showed Aaron that picture. I could not believe how ever-loving picturesque that, like, how do you get anything more picturesque than that?
Yeah,
I can't. Like that was one of the pictures I actually took when I on the vlog when I was just like, can I take pictures while I'm doing this? Click, click. Maybe I took like 3 pictures. I was hoping the screen would have like a little shutter icon to say, yeah, you took a picture, not just me pushing the camera button multiple times. But yeah. But yeah, the pride flags are going to come out here in like the next week or so. Not that there aren't already just an ever-living butt ton just hanging around all the time. It seems like every building has a pride flag hanging out of it around the clock. But anyways, it's been nice chatting with you all. I have had a couple messages that have come in that have been very unsightly involving sexuality, and I have hit those, and I have not answered them because we do not need to. It's sort of one of those things, like it's don't feed the trolls. Like I saw him come in, and I saw it, and that's a tell. I have a tell because I'm so animated and stuff like that. If I'm just like if you see me look over to the chat, everybody kind of knows where my eyes are going for the chat, and my eyes will do something when you see me divert over there, and I'll read something. And I just and I'll usually have that like as I view my vision doing this like like I have to like recenter myself on the camera. I'm just like, hi. But it happens so fast, and I've seen it before because I'll do it and then I'll look over at Aaron's thing and I'll have that like but yeah, if you're ever wondering why I do that, it's because someone came into the chat and asked a horribly inappropriate question, and I just had to, and I'm usually even thinking like, can I answer that? I probably shouldn't. That's a slippery slope. What's going on with that question? Anyways, Aaron needs to fix my pooter, at least the taskbar, and I'm gonna head off to at least lay down. I gotta pee. I've had like 2 liters of water.